Hello.
Hey guys.
This is Srini here. I am the co-founder and heart champion at Bullieverse. At Bullieverse, we are a herd of bulls who are bullish on NFT Web3 gaming. And today I want to share a story of Bullieverse and what we are doing and what bringing NFTs to life means for us. And before getting into the details, I also want to introduce my friend here. He's our
Hey, we got Tyler, this
Oh, yeah.
community leader.
and our
What's up,
community leader, Tyler.
Hi everybody, how you doing? My name's Tyler.
Yeah.
Thanks, Tyler. So yeah,
Wait, notice.
before going into the details, like, don't you wanna just talk about your experiences with how you got into the Bullieverse community and how you joined the team? What made you swallow the red pill and jump into Web3?
Sure. First of all, I've been in the NFT space since August. Minted my first project. They were my first project I minted. I've been in crypto for a few years prior to that. Did a lot of research on that. I've been a gamer all my life. I went to college for it. I built indie games, and my stepbrother got me into the crypto space, and I wasn't a believer in PFP projects. I was a skeptic. But then when I saw utility in gaming, it just clicked. It made sense. And I got rugged on a bunch of projects. Many of you, I feel, may have shared that experience. But Bullieverse was the only one that was delivering constantly, and I stuck with them. And to the point where I came on board as a developer. And I mean, we'll talk more about what the vision is, bringing NFTs to life. And Tyler, our community manager, has been a great face to that. What do you think, Tyler?
Go for it.
Hey everybody, my name is Tyler Caffey. I am the head of community at Bullieverse. Thank you all for coming first and foremost, but yeah, and apologies for being late. Somebody actually just ran over to the booth and said, hey man, you got to run over and join the panel. So here I am. Wow, where do I start? So I guess I sort of got nobody wants to hear about me, but I'll tell you really quickly. The first thing I ever got into in the Web3 space was Zedrun. I like horses, it was like gambling, it was NFTs, I saw some videos of it, and I was like, this is cool. So I was a business consultant in corporate America, and I found myself on my computer in my office racing Zedrun instead of actually doing work. And then I kind of fell deeper and deeper into the rabbit hole of Web3. I minted Bullieverse just kind of like anybody else would back in August. And I had some ideas for the project, and I was just kind of sharing them with Srini and the rest of the team. And maybe a couple months in, they were like, hey, we like your ideas a lot. Like, do you want to join the team? And I was a little bit skeptical about Web3 as a whole deal, and quitting my stable job and joining a Web3 startup. But yeah, I started working part-time, and then it was a good fit for both of us, I would say. And
Yeah, it's a fantastic fit for us.
yeah, and very quickly, it was the easiest decision I ever made, was to quit my job in corporate America and join the Bullieverse team. And really the reason why I did that is because of the commitment to the vision by Srini, our other co-founder Murali, and just the cohesion that we've started to build as a team. It was a really infectious environment, and I couldn't get enough of it. And I fell quickly out of love with the last job that I had, and now we're here, and I think we're building one of the best projects in the space. So we're really excited for what's coming.
Awesome. It was great, right, listening to both of your stories. And I want to share my story and why I started Bullieverse and the journey we have been for the past few months. I've got into this crypto space back in 2016 as a developer building contracts, smart contracts on Ethereum. I was part of a team building oracles for smart contracts, and that's how I got in. And being an engineer, developer, entrepreneur, investor, community member, NA, Pigeon, in buying NFTs and all that. Been a part of the community since then, and I love this space. And through the COVID, I was working on my past startup, which we had to wind up because of the changing market dynamics after COVID. And I got a lot of free time where I was spending a lot of time playing Fortnite, just getting away out of this whole weird stuff happening in the world. And also being in NFTs. I bought my first NFT back in January 2021. After that, I bought an ape back in April last year. And I spent more than what I actually bought the ape NFT for to create a 3D avatar of that, because as an owner, I kind of relate to it, and it was my identity back then, and it was kind of so fascinating to see that NFT come to life in 3D avatar. And I wanted to use it as an avatar for playing games in Fortnite, for example. And it was not possible, right? And I want to make it a reality, and I also want to share the joy of what it means to bring your NFTs to life as playable characters, and play in games and use them as to digitally represent you. But there is more to it, and that's how we started Bullieverse. And the reason why we launched a 10,000 collection was to share the vision. We said that we are going to build a bunch of games where you are going to use these as avatars. And as you see, some of the guys mentored them, and we created a community, and we pulled people from the community into the team who believed in the vision, and we started building. And that's how we came so far. We launched our first game, Bear Hunt, which our community is loving it. And one of the cool features is that you play the game and you mint an NFT as a reward, and that NFT will become a playable character in the next game, which we have the previews of that game in our booth in the other building, and happy if you guys want to pop over and have a look. So that's been our journey so far, and where we want to get to from here is we want to play our role in this whole Web3 gaming momentum, right? And we see a lot of hate to NFTs, particularly from the Web2 gaming space. And we talk about this a lot internally as well. And I think one of the key things, the reason for this is the misinformation, right? And people misunderstanding the value propositions. And I'll come to that in a bit. Before that, I want to talk to you about why they kind of hate NFTs. It's not like they don't like it, they hate it with passion, right? And there are good reasons for that, because over the so many number of years, like most of the PC console gamers have been, they've been like, the value has been extracted from them by a lot of game studios and game publishers in multiple different ways, through loot box by EA and a lot of other ways as well. So they want to protect their space, right? And the end of the day, the games are a means for them to escape from day-to-day horrors and have fun. And they look at these NFTs as like a scheme that the game developers are pushing on, the game publisher pushing on to them as a means to extract value, right? That's misinformation there, and there are reasons because they think like that because they have been had bad experiences in the past. So when someone has a misinformation, how are we going to fix that, right? So we're looking at that, and a lot of influencers keep telling, particularly in the Web3 space, that don't talk about Web3, don't say NFT game, wrap it under, and just say it's a normal game. As long as it is fun to play, people will play it. But I don't agree with that. I think the essence is NFTs, and it is what the value props that brings into the game. And we need to make sure that we educate people why it is important. And we all have been through the journey of experiencing it as people who use the technology that puts property rights in our hands of these digital assets. And there are a lot of cool things that we can build. So I want to stop there, take a pause, and I also want to take some views from both Micah and Tyler. What do you guys think should happen for Web3 games to cross this chasm and get more traditional gamers on board?
Yeah, it's the $1 million question that really every Web3 game studio like ourselves is trying to solve. And I think it's going to be a lot more than just making a fun game. I don't think there's ever been a game studio that's got in a room and said, hey, let's make a shitty game. Nobody's ever tried to accomplish that. So it's going to take a lot more. It's going to take education, and it's just going to take time. I think we're a little bit a ways from mass adoption, but when we get to that flipping point from kind of like when everybody had their eye on when are Bored Apes going to flip punks, like what I'm looking for is when is Web3 gaming going to flip Web2? I think we're probably a couple years out, but it's going to take education, it is going to take fun games, and it's going to take strong teams like ourselves that are committed to the vision, because there's going to be a lot of ups and downs, like the bear market we're in right now, and it's going to be the teams that stay building consistently through these tougher times to really drive the industry and keep spreading the word, because the idea of Web3 gaming does give so much power to creators, players, really everybody. So I think it really is an ideal vision for almost all parties involved. So I think we'll get there, but I think it's just going to take a little bit of time and a lot of hard work.
A ditto.
I agree completely. That is the $1 million question, right? Thank you guys so